The last update of the first season of Chapter 6 is out now, and along with it, preparations for the final event, which will take place very soon, have begun in the Battle Royale. And to get ready for the final showdown with the demons, it's time to turn to the best guide on Oni no Shima, Philly Fishy. Today, we'll break down all the secrets and features of the new update. And in today's episode, the first info about the final event, the return of Tilted Towers, a ton of new collaborations, and the first teasers of the next season. Grab your popcorn and get comfortable. Don't forget to enter the fishiest creator code in the item shop, F15H, and also like and subscribe to the channel. Well, let's get started. Traditionally, we start with map changes. This time, there aren't as many new things on Oni no Shima as in the previous patch. And in my memory, the first season of Chapter 6 is the only season in the last 2 years where there have been at least some changes to the island in every update. The changes, of course, aren't that big, but nonetheless, it's better than nothing at all. So, having landed near Seaport City, you can immediately notice that the gloomy bridge is no longer so gloomy. It seems the No Sweat Insurance Company didn't skimp on some cash in their wallet and started restoring the island after the Godzilla attack. Or maybe the collective mind of the U2 robots did it. On that note, the island's novelties seem to be over. Kappa Kappa Factory and other locations from the previous update remained unchanged. But if I suddenly missed something, be sure to let me know in the comments below the video. In terms of gameplay, the new update didn't bring anything really new, except that the collab with Godzilla ended, and all content from the franchise was removed from the game. So, if anyone didn't manage to get into the skin of the giant lizard, press F. But Epic has rolled out a bunch of interesting changes for the OG or ballistic modes. Let's start with the first, because all the hype is centered around the return of Tilted Towers and the new Black Knight skin. As expected, OG Fortnite became almost one of the most popular modes of the metaverse, if not the most popular, and the launch of the second season only heated up the audience, not only in interest, but also in V-Bucks. The Battle Pass included skins for Sparkle Diva, Cuddle Team Specialist, and Night Conqueror. All these are reskins of legendary skins from the distant first chapter. And in my opinion, they turned out very goody, especially the new knight, whom I already want to buy. The Battle Pass itself costs 1,000 V-Bucks, and leveling it up will take only 45 levels, which won't be difficult at all. So, skipping such a goodie, I personally wouldn't advise. And if you decide to buy a skin, don't forget to enter my creator code F15H when buying, because it really helps me, and it's not difficult for you to enter a couple of letters. So, enter the fishiest author's code and be fully charged in your favorite game. Many have already noticed that this time the seasonal store did not appear, and it's logical, because such a feature was exclusive only to the first season of the first chapter. Therefore, if anyone was worried that his original Black Knight would be dropped into the item shop, you can breathe out. Although, I personally liked the new knight much more, because he looks both more brutal and more modern. And on his back is not just some dull shield with a dragon, but an epic fire-breathing dragon. Major changes have also occurred in the mode itself. Firstly, the map has changed. Now, walking around the island, you can come across Junk Junction, Haunted Hills, Snobby Shores, Shifty Shafts, and of course, Tilted Towers. I don't know about you, but I'm personally glad to see such changes. There were some missteps, and in some places on the map, items and objects from the 5th chapter began to appear, for example, new grass. And something happened with FPS. And we are moving on to another mode, ballistic, which also managed to raise the hype on release. More and more information is appearing that Epic Games is preparing for the full release of ballistic. For those who didn't know, let me remind you that ballistic is currently in early access, so the mode itself is being actively developed, and with the release of the latest update, they've already added the drum gun, and a fire grenade will appear there very soon. If we believe the data miners, then these are not the last features that will be added in the near future. In the game files, they've even already found information about weapon modifications. Simply put, right at the buying stage, we'll be able to choose which attachments to put on the purchased weapon. And if this is really the case, then such a feature will greatly diversify the gameplay. In general, we're waiting for the full launch of the mode in the next season. Well, the main event of Season 1 of Battle Royale, the main talking point of the update, is, of course, the mini-event. As expected, Charlie Wen didn't break tradition, and now we're almost guaranteed to receive such events at the end of each season. The event of the first season, of Chapter 6, is encrypted under the codename Grill Moon, as I suggested in the story trailer, which I didn't release because I was busy with other stuff. It will revolve around Daigo, who will try to get Jade out of the spirit realm, and, spoiler alert, it won't end well. Data miners have already dug up lines from Jade, who tells us about the terrible darkness living in the world of demons. Actually, this darkness is what took the biggest fragment of the 0 point. In total, the event will have 10 stages, which Daigo himself will start teasing us with, using new story quests. It is already known for sure that during the event, we will have to fight hordes of demons that will come out of the frozen portal. And by the way, it is here that a timer with a countdown will appear. So far, this is all the information that we have on hand, but knowing how reliably Epic encrypts their spoiler files, we should expect more in the near future. By the way, I will be hiding spoilers for the mini-event so that nobody accidentally spoils their impression of the season finale. At the same time, they are gradually throwing teasers of the next season at us. On the island, an NPC named Goldie has already appeared, and she can tell us a few interesting things. Firstly, a certain old friend of Midas has acquired some power and wants to use it. Secondly, she teases us with references to a vault robbery and all that kind of thing. Perhaps Epic wants to run a season again that is related to spies, bandits, and other thieving shenanigans. If this is really the case, then I advise Charlie Wen to urgently replace the team of writers with someone more original, because we've literally already had 2 seasons in a similar vein, and personally, I'm already sick of this. On the other hand, it's still interesting what kind of friend of Midas that is and what power he has gained. After all, in reality, this friend could be practically anyone. Whether it's Sloane, Kato Thorne, or someone else, in general, it's a controversial point. Therefore, we're waiting for February 21st to find out how it all will really be. They've also pleased the fans of the collabs, which they've piled up in this update, including Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen and a new Iron Man, who you can customize. They even left a hint at a collab with Cristiano Ronaldo, and besides the collabs themselves, which are still encrypted, they've added a bunch of new skins, in which there are 18 of them in this update. Remember the times when so many skins came out in every update, and there were always enough V-Bucks for them? Well, forget about it. Now, Epic is indulging us in every update. Naturally, I won't describe all 18 skins here, otherwise this video will be another half-hour long, so you can just check out the short review that I'm showing in the background. I can only highlight a cool-looking carp and an interesting hawk or raven. So, to sum up, the last update of the season, of course, turned out to be duller than the previous one. There was still Godzilla who was tearing up the island, and a whole bunch of small but interesting details. And overall, this vibe that we had at the start of the chapter is gone. I can't say that the update is bad, but personally, I would like something epic and interesting by the end of the season. If something like this had come out in December when the season had just started, it would have been fine. But when the audience is waiting for the denouement of the story with demons, teasers of the new season, and some gameplay features, it's not what I want. Although maybe I'm running ahead of the train because there is a mini event waiting for us, which will probably change my opinion about this patch. And in order not to miss this event, it's better to subscribe to this channel because it has everything a Fortniter needs. And that's all for today. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm Philly Fishy. Don't forget my creator code F15H. And let's meet in